So the big game was on Sunday. The big one. The big tuna. The game that we can't say legally on YouTube because we'll get demonetized into submission. But did you like it? Did you, because you were here. I mean, you were here Sunday.
Yeah, with a variety of people enjoying a variety of snacks.
We did. We had some snacks, and my favorite part was when you rolled a d20, and things happen because we just played D&D on Sunday. So I don't know anything about the Super Bowl. Don't tell me who won.
A bunch of people apparently set stuff on fire because
There was a fire.
Their team won.
There was a fire. Yeah.
La 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 la. Here we go. It's the Bible reloaded, the logic explosion, like Jesus and Moses, but it's Hugo and Jake. The Bible is jaded, and most of it taken, so get educated with Hugo and Jake. Pull up you and stop what you're doing. It's Bible reloaded time. They call it debated, the fears will hate it, like talking to taken, but it's Hugo and Jake. So I'm with the show then, it's not candy coated, it's the Bible reloaded with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
And this is The Bible Reloaded on Hugo and Jake. We're back to read more of the Bible, and today we're in Ezekiel chapter 11. Last time we left off, he was face to face with God and those cherubim angels once again, with the circles, the fire circles.
Fire circles, cherubs. There was some shit bread a couple episodes ago. I walked by the freezer section. We should buy some of that and eat it.
Yeah, there's real Ezekiel bread, which I don't know who the marketing guy behind that was, but
Do you think it tastes like poop?
I don't think so, but I feel like they remembered that Ezekiel had something to do with bread, and he made bread, but he didn't remember it was poop bread. Anyway, chapter 11 in Ezekiel. Then the Spirit lifted me up and brought me to the gate of the house of the Lord that faces east. There at the entrance of the gate were 25 men, and I saw among them Jezaniah, son of Azur, and Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, leaders of the people. The Lord said to me, Son of man, these are the men who are plotting evil and giving wicked advice in this city. They say, haven't our houses been recently rebuilt? This city is a pot, and we are the meat in it. Therefore prophesy against them. Prophesy, son of man. Here, they're going to talk about it a little bit. They're essentially talking about Jerusalem pre-invasion by the Babylonians.
Sure.
The wall is the bowl. They are the meat in the bowl ready to be
Yeah,
devoured.
but who are the potatoes?
Why do you assume there are potatoes in this dish?
Because it's very clearly stew. It's the retardeds.
The chunkier.
They
That's
are.
what makes it.
They are.
Not quite thick enough to be a chowder, though.
No, I think for a chowder you'd need something that would be have more like the Greeks. Just when they're in that pot, just that oil of the Greeks, that oily Greeks, just.
I just want to take.
Into
Have you ever wanted to take John Stamos' hair and just wring it
Just
out and see
wring
what
it out.
happens?
Well, it'd be olive oil. It'd be you can.
Is
make
that where olive oil comes from?
It is. It's
God,
John Stamos.
Rachel Ray, goddamn!
Yeah.
She's the one who likes the
EVOO.
EVOO.
Extra Virgin John Stamos. That's what that stands for.
Then the Spirit of the Lord came on me.
Semen.
That is what you are saying, you leaders in Israel, but I know what is going through your mind. You have killed many people in this city and filled its streets with the dead.
That was so calm.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even take time to like use contractions. You have killed so many. You have killed a fuck ton. No, it was you have killed many people and left our streets filled with the dead.
They still haven't killed nearly as many people as God has.
I feel like he wrote this angry text and then he like backed up and was like, no, this is formal. It's to God. Let emotions aside, and we'll just get our points across in an adult fashion.
Therefore, this is what the Sovereign Lord says. The bodies you have thrown there are the meat, and this city is the pot, but I will drive you out of it. You fear the sword, and the sword is what I will bring against you, declares the Sovereign Lord. I will drive you out of the city, and deliver you into the hands of foreigners, and inflict punishment upon you.
Not foreigners! No! Do they have, like... Is spring break just really shitty in Jerusalem. Just a lot of people move in. Like a bunch of kids on spring break. They're like, woo, we're partying. And they're like, no, foreigners, German foreign exchange students. What is it with foreigners?
Why is your vision of ancient Jerusalem
spring breaky? Yeah, it's like Cancun.
Animal House style fucking comedy where...
Yeah, that's because that's what it is. Everything in this book so far has been hilarious.
You will fall by the sword, and I will execute judgment on you at the borders of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord. This city will not be a pot for you, nor will you be the meat in it. I will execute judgment on you at... Oh, I repeated myself. Sorry.
No, you're not. That's literally...
Oh! No! That just repeated itself. Never mind. And I will execute judgment on you at the border of Israel, and you will know that I am the Lord, for you have not followed my decrees or kept my laws, but have conformed to the standards of the nations around you. Now, as I was prophesying, Pelatiah, son of Benaiah, died. Then I fell face down and cried out in a loud voice, Alas, sovereign Lord, will you completely destroy the remnant of Israel?
Do you pay attention? Like, pay attention. He said yes. He said that he was going... Yes!
Also, a guy just fell dead, and that's the last that gets mentioned.
Oh, yeah, that's the end of the whole...
That's the end of that chapter. Guy died, and Ezekiel's just like, No! Guy we mentioned only so we could kill him.
If you want me to feel bad for a character, give him an arc.
Maybe it was like his last day on the force.
Last day on the force,
He was
looking at retirement.
Fresh out of the academy, 2 days from retirement, just getting
Fresh
married.
out of the academy, yet still 2 days from the retirement?
Yes, I'm combining two tropes to make a
Oh,
joke.
wow.
Because they're contradictory.
Oh,
but
I see. So he's a rookie, almost ready to retire. He's a 67-year-old rookie. Rookie beat cop. Almost set to retire. He just wanted this one more case. There was a heist involved. Brad Pitt was there.
You gotta... The Brad Pitt, I know.
Ocean's 11! This is crossing channels now.
That makes sense to like 2 people.
2 people that watch Unpop know this Ocean's 11 conversation has not finished.
Let me tell you, you weren't worth the time for this joke. So next in verse 14, the promise of Israel's return, literally God just says, I'm going to destroy you, but you'll come back.
Wow, he said that a few times, I think.
Yeah. Then in chapter 12, the exile symbolized. I'm just going to start on verse 7 because verses 1 through 6 tell him what to do. God tells Ezekiel what to do, and then it just reiterates it. So I'm just going to read the reiteration.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So I did as I was commanded. During the day I brought out my things, packed for exile. Then in the evening I dug through the wall with my hands.
I gotta say, skipping to verse 7, this is like narratively driven, so the audience doesn't know the things that are about to happen, right? But the omnipotent, yeah, so this first person view, he knows what he's supposed to do, and then we discover it along. That's much better editing, sir.
Yeah.
Your command over the Bible is just really inspiring.
I feel like all the time we saved is now gone.
Yeah. It is.
I took my belongings out at dusk, carrying them on my shoulders while they watched. In the morning, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, did not the Israelites, that rebellious people, ask you, what are you doing? Say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. This prophecy concerns the prince of Jerusalem and all the Israelites who are there. Say to them, I am assigned to you, as I have done, so it will be done to them. They will go into exile as captives. The prince among them will put his things on his shoulders at dusk and leave, and a hole will be dug in the wall for him to go through.
Dug a hole in the wall. Is it made of clay?
I think the idea is that it is
stone.
an earthen wall of some sort. Or it could be stone, but you can still dig through
Shawshank Redemption.
I've seen Shawshank, yeah. So, basically, Ezekiel was told by God, okay, pack up your shit and leave at night, dig a hole through the wall, and then, that'll be a sign to people. Ezekiel, shit bread dude, stop just doing things in private and assuming people are gonna be like, what you doing, Ezekiel? We really care what you're up to. We assume it has to do with God and his wishes for us. I'm just saying, maybe you're the crazy guy in town who laid on his side for a year and ate shit bread, and no one fucking cares what you do because you're crazy.
It's like walking into a packed, like a supermarket, and sighing until someone goes, "What's wrong, Ezekiel?" When they're just minding their own business, doing the things.
Yeah.
And then also you lay down for a year and eat shit bread.
Speaking of supermarket, I watched someone shoplift today.
Did
while
you?
I was at the supermarket.
Where you at? Supermarket, Walmart.
No, it was at Kroger.
Oh, so it was the nice one.
Yeah.
That surprises me. I called the Walmart because the Walmarts around here are garbage. But was it the good Kroger or the shitty Kroger?
No, the good Kroger.
Because we live real close to the good Kroger.
The shitty Kroger's closing anyway. But I go to the good Kroger. Watched a grown man,
Just shop.
like 10, 15 years older than me, had a whole shopping cart full of groceries.
Yeah. He just walked out with it.
Just walked out. I hope he needed that.
Why to Kroger?
I don't know.
Why not do that at Walmart where they give less like Kroger? If you don't know what Kroger is, think for you in the South Publix. For out west, think Fred Meyer, something like that. They're higher end stores where stuff is a little bit more expensive, but it's usually very high quality, good produce, stuff like that. You have a good deli section. Why go there when there's Walmart or Meyer, which is they're much cheaper?
I don't know.
And Meyer's nicer, although Meyer I think would give a shit. Meyer stops people. Walmart's just like, he made it past me. I guess that's it.
Well, see, the thing is, Meyer's union, their employees give a shit
Ooh!
about their employee.
They do.
employers.
So yeah, I've seen a guy at Walmart before use his food stamps to buy soda, and in Michigan, you have a 10-cent deposit. So when you turn the cans in, you get money back. He bought 2 24-packs, dumped them all out in the parking lot, took them back into the bottle return thing, got 240 back, and bought a 40-ounce beer.
That is the stupidest case of food stamp fraud I've ever fucking heard.
He just wanted a beer, man.
He could have much more. There are way easier ways to literally go into the parking lot. If someone stopped me in a parking lot and was like, "I really need a drink. Will you give me $2?" I'd probably feel bad enough. I'd be like,
"Really?" The guy looked pretty rough. I don't know if I'd give him money. Not like rough homeless, like rough, like, I don't know, you might beat me up for that money.
At least, see, if someone comes up to me, though, and is like, "I really need a drink, will you give me money?" I'd be like...
Really? You're enabling that behavior?
I borderline respect
there's a
the
little bit
level of depravity and, like, how rock bottom it is to do that. And secondly, it's not like I'm gonna be, like...
I bought a homeless guy, Subway once, and he threw it on the ground and just was mad at me, so I have a really bad taste in my mouth for that. I was in Florida, and this guy was like, "Hey, can you give me some money?" And I was going to Subway, and I was like, "Well, I could buy you a sandwich, dude." And he didn't really say anything, so I got him a sandwich. I mean, it was cheap. Got him a sandwich, a little turkey sandwich. I didn't put much on it. I did extra meat because I didn't know what he liked. So I just gave it to him, and then he threw it on the ground like a cunt.
I think he was
because he wanted alcohol or drug money.
I don't think that's a homeless thing. I think he was just a native Floridian.
You know? Yeah, he probably was. He probably had a really nice house. I want your fucking sandwich!
People in Florida are not.
Well, they're garbage. They're all garbage. Bunch of rich people upset that they have to spend money on expensive things they bought.
Something about stewing in that heat and that level of humidity for too long just fucks
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's the manatees. There's just manatees floating around down there, all free and happy and cute. And these other people can't deal with that. It's manatee jealousy, I'm telling you. That's what it is. The noble sea cow. Too gleeful for the grumpies down in Florida.
Alright, so anyway, next, Chapter 13, False Prophets Condemned. This is exactly what you think it is. It's gonna be God condemning false prophets, and it's fucking hilarious, so here we go. The word of the Lord came to me, "Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel who are now prophesying. Say to those who prophesy..."
Can we find a thesaurus?
It gets worse. "Say to those who prophesy out of their own imagination, hear the word of our Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to the foolish, prophets who follow their own spirit and have seen nothing." I'd like you to picture a town square in Jerusalem with 10 different people on soapboxes. Ancient Israel version of soapboxes. I don't know.
Right after the German students on spring break leave.
There was a very small window of time where soapboxing made sense, saying being up on a soapbox.
Well, Harvey Milk did a soapbox.
Because...
that's where it comes from, kind of.
Anyway. So imagine you go into this town public square. There's like 4 or 5 fucking insane, clearly insane people. Because you live in this city, you realize that there are insane people.
Sure.
But you don't know what the word insane means because mental illness isn't a thing yet.
Fair enough.
Or at least understanding of it. So there's just people going like, the end is near, get the fuck out! I ate shit bread for a year! There's cameras in your brain! And you go, what's a camera? I don't know that word. Anyway, so... The point is, there's many of these guys, and even within Ezekiel, they're pointing out, like, Ezekiel...
There's other crazies.
There are other crazies.
Yeah.
Like...
Statistically, I think that pans out, though. I think there would be other prophets.
Well, and I think this even bolsters a point, which is, assuming there are just a bunch of people in Jerusalem at the time prophesying different things, there's a good chance one of them's... If there are enough of them, there's a good chance one's going to be right, provided they're broad enough and what they're saying happens.
Sure.
So presumably, maybe there were some people who knew Ezekiel.
Yep.
Knew he was a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Knew he was a guy with particular opinions and believed he
Right.
talked to God.
And, of course, these crazy people are brought up in a super strict religious upbringing.
And then Babylon actually does come in and invade Jerusalem.
Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar.
And then people go, oh shit, Ezekiel was right. But theoretically, they could have said that about anyone who was saying, oh, the end is near. It's not like there's any shortage of that in any society ever. There's always people who are
It's like a fortune teller going, oh, next week you're gonna have to use your social skills for a situation. Because you're a person!
Yeah. That is, oh my god,
You know
you're
what I'm
right.
saying? It's exactly the same thing.
Saying to Jerusalem, you're going to be fucked for a while.
Is just how cities worked.
That's how Jerusalem and the Israel...
It still kind of works
It's how
that
the
way.
Israelites worked for most of history, up until and including... well, not now, because they're kind of being assholes.
Since
Since
48-ish?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Although I do like the idea of instead of just arguing over just crazy people arguing over like which prophecy's right, I would prefer like in my head for it to be like a dance battle.
Yeah.
Like you got served and then they just have different I can't dance. This is my move. This is my move right here. You see this move?
Is that a half vote?
I don't know what it is.
It's a half.
It's just my move. We call it the rigid walrus.
Apt name. Your prophets, Israel, are like jackals among ruins. You have not gone up to the breaches in the wall to repair it for the people of Israel so that it will stand firm in the battle on the day of the Lord. So they're saying, there are too many crazy people, Ezekiel says, as he, I assume, with shit bread breath. There are too many fucking crazy people in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
You're not doing your due diligence. Presumably everyone fucking rolls their eyes. It's really shitty that our book says we can't kill this guy.
It can if you consider him a false prophet real quick.
No wonder Ezekiel's very, like, follow the Lord! Because if they didn't, they'd probably be like, we should do something with this guy.
Yeah.
It's kinda... Their visions are false and their divinations are a lie. Even though the Lord has not sent them, they say the Lord declares, and expect him to fulfill their words. Have you not seen false visions and uttered lying divinations when you say, the Lord declares, though I have not spoken? Again, how does everyone who reads this not immediately go like,
That was a real one.
yeah! Because
yeah, I don't know either.
it's not even like, and again, it's not like he goes on to then explain, here's why I am different. Here is the proof or evidence that I am different than these other people claiming things. He just says, because I'm Ezekiel, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because
Does he have a lot of cred? I don't...
Presumably it became because he probably wrote this, and again, Bible stuff gets rewritten and changed and shit. It wouldn't surprise me if Ezekiel was probably a guy who, before the actual sacking of Jerusalem, probably was like, hey, shit's gonna end, guys. Maybe he foresaw that actually because of political realities. Maybe he actually saw Babylon as a threat and was, you know...
Or he thought the aliens were coming.
Whatever. He's seeing it through a religious lens, but it's possible based on he was actually using actual information of the day to say, okay...
That's giving him a lot of credit, but sure.
I'm gonna give him credit for that. And then afterwards, when Babylon did come in, historically, factually, and fuck up Jerusalem,
Yeah.
afterwards maybe he wrote, and people gave him a little more credibility, saying he was saying this stuff before. He must know something. Maybe God is talking to him. Which then lends him credibility because it happened in a way similar to how he said. As opposed to the other crazy people Ooh, I don't know, maybe we're eating, like, piss bread. But it wasn't quite good enough. Anyway, let's finish up. Verse 17.
I'm always ready to finish.
Now, son of man, set your face against the daughters of your people, who prophesy out of their own imagination. Prophesy against them and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to the women who sew magic charms on their wrists and make veils of various lengths for their heads in order to ensnare people. Will you ensnare the lives of my people but preserve your own? You have profaned me among my people for a few handfuls of barley and scraps of bread. By lying to my people who listen to lies, you have killed those who should not have died and have spared those who should not live.
You did that!
He's omnipotent and omniscient. People only die if you give the go-ahead.
Yeah,
You can't place blame on literally anything. I'm going to put this in I think, the most succinct way that I've ever put anything.
Oh, ever?
If Yahweh, the God of the Old Testament and the Bible, is supreme, creator of the universe, creates everything, everyone knows everything that will ever happen or ever could, then everything that exists, including you, is only existent as an extension of God's will. Everything you do is something God is doing, because everything, by definition, is only allowed to happen by his permission.
Including this that we're doing right now. So, I mean, don't yell at me. Everything I do is God's fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Therefore, this is what the Sovereign Lord says. I am against your magic charms, which you ensnare people like birds, and I will tear them from your arms. I will set free the people that you ensnare like birds. I will tear... Yeah.
Was that like the plan on how to get birds back in the day? You snare them? A snare is the best shot you got? What about throwing a rock at them?
I think that they had slingshots.
That's not a snare. A snare is something that grabs your foot.
I understand.
That's silly to me.
Okay. Because you disheartened the righteous with your lies when I had brought them no grief, and because you encouraged the wickedness not to turn from their evil ways and so save their lives, therefore you will no longer see false visions or practice divination. I will save my people from your hands, and they will know that I am the Lord. So that's God through a false prophet saying, don't listen to false prophets. Okay, I won't.
Deal.
So, that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to finish up Ezekiel. We'll touch on sort of the biggest points, but I really want to get to the New Testament. I know you do.
Yeah,
I'm sure you do.
yeah. So, again, just to recap, Ezekiel, then Daniel, but we're going to, this is what Ezekiel is. Ezekiel is the bulk of what is in the way of us. It's about that much. Page 490. So we got about 23 more pages of Ezekiel, but we're not going to go through every one of those. Got some Daniel, which is boring. Hosea, which is boring. Then Jonah, which is fun as shit. Jonah being the Jonah and the whale. And then some smaller stories, and then we're into Matthew.
Okay. I'm interested.
Zechariah, Malachi,
I'm excited
Amos,
to talk about
Daniel.
Jonah. Jonah's the biggest popular Bible story outside of the New Testament that we haven't gotten to, because we touched on the big
ones are the early ones, like Noah and David and Goliath,
Adam and Eve. Because you know why? Because they're at the beginning.
They are, but Jonah's interesting because they bring it up a lot, because it's supposed to show faith in God, because
it's a conversion story.
But it's literally, if you don't know what the Jonah story actually is about, it's about a guy going in to not only be converted himself, but to convert others.
Yeah.
And it's kind of showing, you'll go through some trials, but you should still go on and convert. It's Mormons use it a lot. So
it's a very New Testament-y story for a story that's in the Old Testament.
Well, it's literally one of the last things before we get to the New Testament, and I don't actually know the year it was supposedly written.
We'll talk about it in the episode.
But I bet it's bumping up against Judea and Roman occupation. It's not going to be right there, but it's going to be shortly, a few generations before that, most likely.
At the very least, it has some of the same values as the New Testament, which
Right.
is interesting. And I like that. You can see the values of a society or a culture change over time.
I mean, we saw them go from just post agricultural revolution to. I mean, it really is. If for nothing else, the historical implications of this book about the culture and the changes therein, it is very interesting to chronicle that.
I'll say this: I find it interesting in that you see a people dealing with basically coming together and forming a society, and the superstitious way they view the world and how
that
changing.
evolves.
Yeah.
Like honestly, when you get to Jesus, that shit's progressive as fuck.
Comparatively speaking, it really is, and I don't know.
It upsets me that he's
fascinating.
not just some sort of Aristotle
Yeah.
figure, because I feel like, even though I disagree with a lot of what Jesus says, I do like some of the philosophies in general. Like the fact that he hangs out with women is kind of interesting. That's an interesting thing for a Jewish guy to do, in 32 BC or whatever. So it's interesting. I like kind of the
AD.
historical aspect. AD. Well, that's when he dies. Yeah, you're right. But it's just man, I'm so excited for the history part. I get a little chub for it. A little bit. And then of course you finish with Revelation, which is just fucking garbage.
Oh my god.
Like it's just like a huge step back. It's the Donald Trump of the book. Got him roasted.
Boom.
Roasted him. It's
So-
okay. We'll make a Hillary joke next week and you guys can calm down. You keep wanting to throw that over there. Yeah, you know.
I gotta take this home with me. I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
I don't. You keep trying to. Because here, I'll throw mine. There we go.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
You can always follow us on Twitter at
No.
at Papa Bird Jake. I
Papa
almost
Bird
forgot.
Jake. You can follow Hugo Reloaded. You can also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get your abs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Atheist Bible Study.
Abbreviations.
Yeah, and you can also donate to the Patreon, which is changing. I have some ideas I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit. But I was talking to some patrons recently, and probably the last couple months, and we've been sending a lot of swag. But at a certain point, you get kind of just too chock full.
Swagged out, and you get a lot of
Too chock
little things that say the Bible reloaded.
Yeah. So while that was cool, we're going to move toward. Everyone's still going to get chick tracks. Well, not everyone. $5 or more gets chick tracks. But I like to keep it to a single envelope, so you don't have a big thing. But I have some good ideas that I want to unveil on you after we workshop it a little bit.
Okay.
Got some stuff that I'm really excited about. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks without you to see if I can workshop a good idea to pitch. And I think I got it.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. Also, you get extra content there. We've done, other movie stuff. We did the special features to
Yeah, we'll do
Bells
another,
of Innocence.
We'll do another one of those in the next week or two.
Friday, by the way, this Friday. Oh, tune in.
Link to the Discord in the comments.
Yep.
I think that's it. Until next time. I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake. And comments, by comments, he meant description.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no one's watching at this point anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
I could take my dick out.
Take it out. Don't do that. Don't fucking call my bluff on that. Don't. I'm not. Part of me thought you might do it.
I barely have the confidence to show my face on camera. I don't know. Here down is iffy.